Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Today's shloka is shloka number 1 of chapter 1. Dhritarashtra uvacha
Dhritarashtra uvacha
dharma kshetre kurukshetre
dharmakshetre kurukshetre
samaveta yoyotsavaha
samavethayuyutsavaha
mamakav pandavaschaiva
mamakhav pandavaschaiva
kimakurvata sanjaya.
kimakurvata sanjaya.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dhritarashtra uvacha.
Dhritarashtra uvacha.
King Dhritarashtra said,
King Dhritarashtra said,
Dharma kshetre,
Dharmakshetre,
in the place of pilgrimage.
in the place of pilgrimage.
Kurukshetre,
Kurukshetre,
in the place named Kurukshetra.
in the place named Kurukshetra.
Samavetah,
Samavetaha,
assembled.
assembled.
Yuyutsavaha,
Yuyutsavaha,
desiring to fight.
desiring to fight.
Mamakaha,
Mamakaha,
my party sons.
my party sons.
Pandavaha,
Pandavaha,
the sons of Pandu.
the sons of Pandu.
Cha,
Cha,
and Eva,
Eva,
certainly.
certainly.
Him,
What?
Akurvata,
Akurvatha,
did they do?
did they do?
Sanjaya,
Sanjaya,
O Sanjaya.
O Sanjaya.
Translation. Dhritarashtra said,
Dhritarashtra said,
O Sanjaya,
O Sanjaya,
after my sons
after my sons
and the sons of Pandu
and the sons of Pandu
assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra,
assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra,
desiring to fight,
what
did they do?
What did they do?
Okay, so we're going to read the purport written by Prabhupada to this particular shloka. So I will read it and then we will have a quick discussion. And then all of us can practice reciting the shloka. I'd like to hear some of you reciting the shloka. Okay. The Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, qualification of the Gita. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretations. So Prabhupada is writing that if anybody wants to read the Bhagavad Gita, they should do so under the guidance of a person who is a practicing devotee of Lord Krishna. Because if you read it on your own, you will end up misinterpreting the shlokas. Therefore, the scriptures should always be read under the guidance of a guru. There are Shiksha Gurus who will take classes like this, and under their guidance, you will read the Bhagavad Gita. The example of clear understanding is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the way the teaching is understood by Arjuna, who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. So just like Arjuna heard the Bhagavad Gita, the importance of the application of various paths of yoga in one's personal life, Arjuna himself heard it directly from the lips of the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand the Bhagavad Gita in that line of disciplic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. which means if you find somebody who can actually teach you the Bhagavad Gita in a Guru Parampara system, which means I should have learned it from somebody, that person should have learned it from somebody in that same parampara. This is called disciplic succession. Then you can consider yourself very fortunate, because when you learn in the Guru Parampara, then everything is legitimate. There is no need for us to interpret the shlokas, because the acharyas have already given detailed analysis of the shlokas. So you and I need not struggle to figure out, what did Krishna mean here? Why is Arjuna asking this question here? Why is Dhritarashtra asking this question? One will find in the Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. The Bhagavad Gita is called the Gitopanishad. It is the essence of all Upanishads. So the Upanishads are many. If you and I had to read it, it's going to take us a long time and maybe many lifetimes before we can understand the Upanishads. The fastest way to understand the Upanishads is to simply read the Bhagavad Gita, because the essence of all of the Upanishads is contained in Gitopanishad. That is the specific standard of the Gita. It is the perfect theistic science, meaning it is the best science if you want to understand who is God, because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The topics discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya, as described in the Mahabharata, form the basic principle for this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. A battlefield is a very noisy place. If you want to understand scriptures, you would prefer a quiet, soothing place where you can listen carefully, you can have a nice conversation, you can ask questions, you can get your doubts clarified. But this highest of philosophy is being spoken in the battlefield. It's a noisy place. There are many people surrounding you. They may or may not be interested in what is happening. So you have to really pay attention on the battlefield to hear what the Lord is about to say to Arjuna. The word Dharma Kshetra, a place where religious rituals are performed. Dharma means to do what is right. And this Kurukshetra is called Dharma Kshetra, meaning this specific dham called Kurukshetra is a place where dharma is going to be protected. It is going to be upheld. Therefore, Dhritarashtra himself is using the word Dharma Kshetra, knowing fully well this is the place where dharma is going to be the winner in the end. So the word Dharma Kshetra is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra, the father of the Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjaya, what did they do? He was confident that both his sons and the sons of his younger brother Pandu were assembled in that field of Kurukshetra for a determined engagement of the war. Dhritarashtra himself wanted this war. He wanted his son to win and retain the kingdom. So why should he ask a silly question? After my sons and the sons of Pandu gathered on the battlefield, what did they do? What else will they do? They will fight. So when somebody asks a question like this, it suggests that they are nervous. They understand this is Dharma Kshetra, and the father of Dharma, the Lord himself, is there on this battlefield. So definitely he was nervous. What was he nervous about? He was thinking, this is such a holy place. What if his sons get influenced by the dham and decide, oh, this fight, we don't want to fight. Let Yudhishthira and the Pandavas get the kingdom. What if his sons give up? Give up because of the influence, in the sense his sons will end up doing the right thing. He is worried that his sons will end up doing the right thing. Under the influence of the Holy Land, under the presence of the Supreme Lord, Krishna himself. On the other hand, he also had a little bit of hope. What was his hope? His hope was the Pandavas are much more virtuous. Not much more. They are the only virtuous ones on this battlefield compared to his own sons. Maybe they will come under the influence of this holy place, and maybe, just maybe, they will decide this is not a fight that we want to be part of. So on the one hand, he had fear. On the other hand, he had hope. When fear and hope comes together, it creates a lot of doubt in your mind. What's going to happen? Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want a compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. So he was nervous. He wanted to make sure that his sons were victorious. Because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukshetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven. Even the Devatas come to Kurukshetra because it's holy land. The Devatas themselves will come down and worship there. Dhritarashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pandu favorably. Whoever is on the side of Dharma, Dhritarashtra was sure that they would win. So definitely he knew that the Pandavas would win. They were on a holy place, the Lord was there with them, and they were virtuous. Sanjaya was a student of Vyasa, and therefore by the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjaya was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. So Sanjaya had this boon from his spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva himself, that he would be able to see the scene unfolding on the battlefield. After the battle got over, when Sanjaya started lamenting for the loss of all of the 100 brothers, when he started lamenting, he lost that special vision, that special benediction that he got from Srila Vyasadeva. The minute he started mourning the death of Duryodhana and the others, he lost that vision. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belong to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as Kurus. Mamakaf, he says, my children. And he separated the sons of Pandu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews, the sons of Pandu. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out, so it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants, like Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, and others, would be wiped out, and thoroughly religious persons headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord. So just like a gardener, a very careful gardener tends to his fields and takes out all of the weeds that grow. Because whenever you pour water, you put fertilizer, not only will the crops grow that you want, weeds will also get that same nourishment. So a very careful farmer will keep visiting the field and removing the weeds so that more of the nourishment and water goes to the plant that he wants to flourish. Similarly, The Lord, as the gardener, is going to weed out all the bad elements like Duryodhana to make sure that the virtuous are victorious and they establish their kingdom. This is the significance of the word Dharmakshetre and Kurukshetre, apart from their historical and Vedic importance.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.